Hi everybody, welcome back to Arma 3, welcome back to Prairie Fire, welcome back to Mike Force. And out in the jungles of Nam, it can be a pretty nasty place, especially when you keep getting bit by snakes and getting poisoned by them. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use a console command to turn the ambient wildlife off so that you won't get any of those pesky vipers coming along and ruining your day when you're trying to ambush the enemy while hiding in a bush. Now what we're going to use is this command here, enableEnvironment, and I'll put a link to this in the description below this video. And what we can do is, if you scroll down and you copy this bit here, if you copy that, and then when you're in your game, if you press escape and then go into the debug console and select whatever's there, and delete it with backspace, and then press Control V to paste it in, we'll then get this thing there. So this is enableEnvironment false and true. And the way that this works is that with the enableEnvironment command, there's kind of three factors that it can change: ambient life, ambient sound, and the wind coefficient there. Now for the purposes of this video, we're only really interested in the first two. So ambient life is, do things like snakes, rabbits, butterflies, all that sort of stuff, do they spawn in and wander around the world? And the sound is, do the sounds happen? Now we want the sound still to be there, don't we? Well, I would have thought you would do. So when we use the enableEnvironment command, we're going to have false for the first one, because we're going to say disable the ambient life, but we're going to say true for the second one, because we want the ambient sound still to be there. So that's why we do that. enableEnvironment false, true, and you press enter and then press escape, and we're back in the world, and hopefully none of those pesky snakes will spawn in. Now this is at the sacrifice of, I guess, some of the immersion, because you're not going to have things like the butterflies and flying around, and things like rabbits hopping around as well. I'm not sure. I guess there would have been rabbits in Southeast Asia, wouldn't there? Rabbits are kind of everywhere. But also the flip side to that as well is that it may well improve performance a little bit. You may well gain a couple of frames per second or something like that. Now you're still going to have to eat and drink, and you're still going to get ill with dysentery and worms and things like that. So you're going to have to go to the arsenal in your operating base and get those meds, because you're going to want them. But hopefully you won't have any snakes coming up and biting you, because I don't know, to me it just seems that the rate at which snakes bite you seems a little bit too high. I'm sure there were many cases of people getting bit by snakes in Vietnam, and even now, wandering around anywhere where there's venomous snakes. But I seem to get bitten all of the time, so that's why I wanted to find that out. So all of this stuff will be in the description below the video as well, so you can refer to it. I kind of recommend that you have like an open text document that you paste these debug commands into, along with like the ones that affect the time and the weather as well, so that when you're playing solo Prairie Fire campaign missions, but really Mike Force, because I think Mike Force is the only one that has snakes that bite you. I could be wrong with that. You can paste these into the debug menu, and then walk around in a slightly safer environment. Anyway, that's enough from me. Hopefully you found that video useful. If you have, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and of course I'll see you again soon.